Okay, hello and welcome. We are finally back recording a little bit. We're back for the Plague League Historic Pauper Series playoffs now. As the number 1 seed, I had a bye in the opening round. Places 1 and 2 had byes, and then we cut to top 6, and we played kind of an NFL-style top 6. So now I'm playing my semifinals match, and I'm going to go back to my old stalwart of Snowball, Demure Snowball specifically. I made a few minor course corrections based on the meta. We're a little heavier on Mire's Grasp and 2-drop removal now, as I think that was a weak point we need to shore up. To make up for the additional removal slots, I've cut 1 Wandering Death, 1 Cadaver Imp. I'm not sure I'd necessarily recommend this in an open metagame, but I think it definitely helps stave off some of the larger problems the deck might face. And otherwise, it's just the typical new Demure Snowball. Priest does so much work, because now you get to have 11 2-drop removal spells, plus your 4 cruelties, and then you just have value all the way up the chain. In the sideboard, you have 3 Duresses, 2 Unexpected Fangs, 3 Memory Leak, an extra murder if we need it against big things, libations against either hexproof or against various enchantments like Ill-Gotten Inheritance, and then Suffocating Fume. Suffocating Fume stock has gone down a little bit just because there aren't as many X ones. People aren't letting you get that value the way that they once were. I still love Snowball, and I feel like it's a good general choice. The only deck that I don't want to face, and I don't think that my opponent will bring it, is Turbo Fog. I would much prefer to be on a blue-black control deck more similar to the Wheel rather than this. But I'm going to make a judgment call. I'm going to try Snowball. I don't think playing the Wheel is really a great move in this match. I'll be playing against Lavakin Berserker, a stalwart of the Historic Pauper server and this series, and I'm expecting a sweet tribal deck based on what I've seen him play in the past. He might also be playing one of his mono red decks, where he actually took a mono red deck all the way up to Mythic twice in the past 2 months. So any person who can take a Historic Pauper deck and run it up to Mythic in Historic, that's pretty serious. But I think that we're pretty well set against something like that. Between Lampads, Mire's Grasp, Moment, and Priest, we can stop an early rush, and then we'll have enough value to finish things off. So we'll just see exactly which direction he decides to take things, and it'll be fun. See you in a minute for the match. Okay, and we are back. So we're playing a single match to determine placement into the finals. Regardless, okay, I'm obviously playing first, and this hand is fine against whatever's going on. And we'll send him a little emoji, as I know he likes those as well. Alright, so I'll lead off on a top land and see where this goes. I'm very interested to see exactly what deck I'm playing against here. Oh, so this could be mono white core. I'm going to lead on Priest, just because getting over the summoning sickness is a big issue. And I'll might end up cycling Riverwinder, just because it's not great at this point. Okay, yeah, so this looks like core. I'm actually just going to play this. I don't quite know what's going on with the core deck in terms of removal, tricks, etc. So I think I'm just going to jam this block, and if my opponent has like Feet of Resistance or something, then I'll just kind of eat that, and then I'll Mire's Grasp. Oh, Farsight Adept. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. So I hit my 3rd island in Ice Tunnel. I think I'm just going to kill this and pass the turn. And I'm not really sure what else I want to do right now. I'm not really sure what the endgame payoff is. Like, I know nothing about this deck. Alright, Shieldmate. Shieldmate's solid. So there's probably some... I imagine this is going to play a lot like a typical rush deck. I don't have any sorceries. Okay. So I think what I want to do is play Lampad and then play this to give me something, and then I'll just put in blocks if I need to, and I'll have a trick as backup. So my opponent needs to have 2 tricks here. And with 2 cards in hand, yeah, okay. So I'll be okay, I expect. I will kill this at end step, if given the opportunity, and then reset. Oh! Kite Sail. Kite Sail's nice. That's really annoying for me. So I'm going to have to kill all of the creatures, which means I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cash in... Okay, so I should definitely let the attach happen, because I don't want to give my opponent another opportunity. So let's just... I'm going to cash out on all of my creatures here. And just trade. Yeah, you can equip if you want, but I'm gonna priest your creature probably. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna priest this creature. Okay, and then I'm gonna play another priest, and then an ice tunnel, and that puts me on 6. So next turn, I can actually play the Riverwinder as a threat and go to town. Yeah, that's tough. It's unfortunate. My opponent has gotten really flooded here, and that's really unlucky. Like, I can imagine that the core deck only plays probably 20 lands, 21 lands. Like, I can't imagine it plays that many lands. It might play, like, some of the cycling lands or something like that, but... yeah. But that's really awkward with 6 out of the first, yeah. Oh well. So what I'm going to do is just continue doing what Snowball does, and I'll keep getting value, and... I don't know why my opponent has priority. Did my game crash? Let's take a look here. My opponent should not, so we're gonna, yeah, we DC'd for a second here. Let's make it work again, and hopefully this will work. Come on. Work. Okay, there we go. It's my turn, and I think I have something. Who knows what's going on? It's really tough to figure out. Ah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, if that's the case, I think I'm just going to attack. There's something else. And then we'll keep going. Okay, yeah, and that's the game on that one. That makes a lot of sense. Like, there isn't a lot that can be done there. Okay, I have no answers to Kite Sail, which is kind of scary. Like, I think that the new push for equipment actually does make Snowball a fair bit worse. And my opponent probably is on Bone Splitter. Like, if I were them, I would probably be on Bone Splitter. I don't remember if how many double striking cards are commons. So I don't think I like Riverwinder. It's not a good card. Wander in Death is fine. I probably want Unexpected Fangs. 1 minute, how did I just add 3 cards to the deck? Oh, I clicked on a memory leak. Cadaver Imp is fine. There's a certain number of X1s. But I think I'd rather just use 1-for-1 removal and not get really invested in those fights. I think that this is probably good based on where everything is. So we'll see if my my buttons work. Oh, well. Alright, my internet is stuttering a little bit today, so bear with me. If I don't get to sideboard, that's just kind of how it is. Yeah, we're having some issues here. Unfortunate. Let's try cycling the Wi-Fi and maybe we'll get something here. If I play the... I would like to submit the sideboard if I can, but it's not a big deal if I don't. Like, Fangs is good, but Riverwinder will pull its weight. Oh well. Hopefully it's, I think I'm supposed to, like, reboot my game here. So, if you'll excuse me for 1 second. Okay, I'm back, and I kept a hand minus the swamp. It's, like, a little soft, but I really like Priest, and, like, this deck can draw out of anything. Like, we're gonna be okay. I don't know if I got to sideboard or not, but it should be fine. Oh, wow, it actually did register my sideboard picks. That's really interesting. I couldn't imagine that it did. Based on like when I DC'd. Maybe it decides that like whatever you have in and out at that point. Okay. Farsight. That's nice. I'm going to develop my board here. I think making Seagate at 2-4 is going to be really nice. I'm going to take an island because that progresses me up the chain toward what I'm trying to do. Okay. So what are the tricks here? Yeah, it's just the... It's no attacks? It's just the 3-3? Oh, Banneret. Okay. I don't have anything against Banneret. I think what I'm supposed to do... Banneret is really good. I think I'm supposed to cash this in on the Banneret, and... If I get blown out... Ooh, Flicker of Fate. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So I get cashed... I get destroyed on that. Probably going to want to do something here. I want to figure out if it's better... It's probably better just to cycle Wonder in Death and make my guy a 2-4 at end of turn. I kind of like doing that. So this will, like, eat some of the damage. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. So I gain 2, go to 14. I get Cruelty, and I just actually just want to kill the Banneret. And then I'll pretend to hold up something here. And I'm not going to attack, because even if I trade damage, I still take 4 every turn. Healer, okay. So my 2-4 is holding. That's one of the nice things about Seagate. It does hold ground really well. A little less in the Bone Splitter meta, but still pretty well. So we're at 6 right now. I think I just want to hold up Craving. And then I'll end step kill... I think I'll kill the Sellsword. And then I go up to 7. If I hit a creature, then I can Secrets for the full value. And then I'll just be on all tapped lands, and I'll have a board, and I'll see if I can get out of this. I'd actually just prefer to Rager here. And then it's all my opponent. And I think I'm extremely stable, and it's just... it should be very difficult. Yeah, my opponent... that's so unlucky. Like, more than 50% lands both games. Alright, I'm going to draw. And then I'll just continue deploying things and just clogging the board the way this deck does. Get in for 2 damage. And yeah, this is going to be really tough. Like, just because white doesn't have card draw. If white could draw... oh, wow, that's... yeah, that's really unlucky. recur this. We'll continue playing properly. But the game should be over in a couple turns here, I'd imagine. Oh, I should have just played this and then attacked for more. I should have like forced some trades. I'll just spend a turn to kill this, just because. It's better than deploying more creatures to the board. Ooh, Feat of Resistance. Nice, nice. Yeah, Feat is one thing that really holds White together. Wow. 1 minute. You've drawn 10 lands in 17 cards? Ugh. Alright, here, I'm gonna just kill this thing, and then we'll get out of the game. Take that. Kill the 4/4. And attack with all my creatures. Yeah, and then I'll sack some guys. Yeah, that was unfortunate. That Lavakin got mana screwed, or mana flooded both games, and it was just really unlucky. Oh well, that's the match for now. I'll make sure to record the final. Hello and welcome. We're back for the finals of Season 5 of the Plague League Historic Pauper series today. And I'll be playing against Bubblix in a single best-of-5 match. 2 pre-sideboarded games, 3 sideboarded. We decided on this number via mutual agreement. It was a simpler solution than some of the complex matches that I've played in the past, or some interesting ones where a deck gets eliminated if it wins, gets eliminated if it loses, etc. So today, I think I'm going to be bringing Blueback Snowball. This is a slight variation. I've cut a Wanderer Death and a Cadaver Imp for 2 Suffocating Fumes. I've firmed up some of my 2-drop removal. Otherwise, the deck is mostly the same. I've decided not to hedge against Turbo Fog. I think that Turbo Fog is a wonderful deck against certain decks. It's really annoying to have in the format sometimes, but it is a legitimate part of the format. I'm not hedging against it, I've decided. So I'm going to be playing an extra Bazooka Bog in the sideboard and an extra Suffocating Fumes over what I was considering if I did decide to hedge. If I was going to hedge, I'd play 2 negates here, and then that would give me 8 interaction spells to deal with their fogs and other cards they might have. As is, I'm expecting something that's more in the aggro to control range. I'm not really expecting to play against something that's serious combo. If we do need to deal with it, I do have 4 Libations, which I can use against hexproof creatures or enchantments. I might be a little soft to Bone Splitter. We're going to have to figure out how that works out. It's going to be very much a trade fest and a tempo game, and whoever wins the roll in the first game is going to be very interesting to see how that runs. I'm not sure what to expect from my opponent. I think it's unlikely that they play Turbo Fog, as it's only a couple people actually play Turbo Fog in the Discord servers that I play with. However, it's definitely something to keep in mind, as I think my opponent has an extremely wide range, and I believe has the second most 3-0s for weekly events with different decks overall in the history of the Plague League. I could be wrong on that, though. I know that there's a couple people who have really gone deep on certain decks, myself included, but Bubblix has gone pretty wide and has won a lot of games with a lot of different decks and stretched a lot of different archetypes in various ways, and it's been really fun to watch and see what deck ideas have come from that. But for now, this is what I'll be playing today, and I think it's an extremely solid deck. I'm happy about its matchups overall, other than Turbo Fog, and we'll just have to kind of see what happens when we meet the enemy. I've played 2 matches with Bubblix before, losing against Green-White with a similar variation of Dimir Snowball, and winning against Burn with an extremely hateful version of Green-White Hexproof against Burn. I know how slow the deck is, and I was prepared, let's say, for a Burn deck. Alright, so that's it, and I'll see you in the games, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, and we are ready. 2 pre-sideboarded games, and I have won the roll. This hand seems great against anything to do with creatures, and I just need to draw a third land. But otherwise, I've got a clean 2-drop, and obviously some removal, or I can cycle if I need to on turn 3 if I need to my Cod Conceer and a land. So this seems fine. Alright, so they've mulliganed to 6. And we'll see where it goes. Have to play Sanctuary tapped, obviously. Okay, my opponent's on Idyllic Grange. It's kind of interesting. I feel like they might be on the mono white in, ooh, white-black. Huh. Alright. I don't have any idea of what's going on. This will be interesting to see where we go. This was a pretty great draw. We hit our land. I just need another land, probably. I've got a Fumes in case they're going into tokens, but I'm not really sure what's going on. I'd imagine Basari's Acolyte is somewhere in this deck. That's something I'm definitely a fan of. Bone Splitter. Okay, okay. Yeah, Bone Splitter will be a tough one. I'm just going to take 3 and just trade some hits for a little bit. 3-Raven Inspector. Okay, so this is going to be black-white aggro. I'm just going to play this, play the Bog, and crack in for 2. And we're going to get into a race situation in a second here, because on the next turn I'm going to be able to play land, and I'm probably not actually going to play anything. Oh. You're willing to brawl. That's really interesting. I'll just block... I'll block Reaver and see where it goes. I might actually play the second Lampad this next turn. I'm not really worried about trading because I'm going to stabilize the board pretty soon, assuming my opponent doesn't have something amazing here. Bone Splitter is really nice, though. Alright, second Reaver. So now it goes up to a 4-2. I probably think I just want 2 of these. Although a second one of these can actually just really cement things for me, because that allows some nice double blocks on stuff. So now I'm just going to send across for 4, and pass. If my opponent... No, I'm actually not going to. I was going to say if my opponent taps out, then I was going to do something, but I'm not. I'm just going to cash this one in for a point, and just let it go, because I want to be able to kill this before the it gets re-equipped. Like, otherwise I would have end-stepped momented it or something like that. Probably in the next turn I'll play Priest, and that'll be really solid. Yeah, they might be re-equipping. That's smart. I think I'm just going to go here, and then they've passed. I'm going to kill the Reaver just because. It saves me 5 points of damage, and I don't think my opponent has tricks. My opponent might. Let's just see. It's probably just a re-equip here, though. Okay, Rager. Alright, so they're playing like a little black-white kind of tokeny thing. I don't think this is super well set up against what I'm playing, but I could be wrong. I just think that you end up getting tempoed out a little too much with this type of a deck. It's nice that I have Cloud Conceer, that I get to put them on a clock, because they're dead next turn. I have Moment of Craving as backup. I also have Suffocating Fumes if I really need to stop a bunch of damage somehow. So I'm just going to block here. I think I'm just going to make the clean blocks, and then I'm going to take the rest of the damage just because it isn't lethal, and that actually makes it lethal for my opponent on the next turn. So I'm fine to take 3 here. And end step, I might play something here. We'll just see. They're playing Rager, okay. That should just cleanly make it lethal. Okay, so then that's game. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll just kill this, and then I don't know why I even bother. Okay, and then lamp pad for the last 2 points. Alright, so that was very smooth. I like the deck idea, though. Thraben Inspector really gives black-white some interesting options on that. So we're not sideboarding. We just play it as is. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be playing going into the next match. Alright, this hand is... My opponent kind of snap-capped. This hand is like pretty soft if I don't find a swamp, so I'm going to mulligan. Alright, I'll keep this, and I think... Oh, whoa, we definitely don't want to be getting rid of this. 1 second. This is my computer acting up. I want to get rid of a seer. As good as they are, it isn't where I need to be right now. I need to be on the ground because of how many 1/2s they have. I want a card that can battle with them, and Rager is that card. Alright, so you got Banneret. Alright, that's fine. This always comes in play on tapped, so there's no point in playing Sanctuary first. Okay, so not on snow, which is interesting. Yeah, I'll just play a second one. On my next turn, I'll probably Craving the Banneret, depending on what they have. I like it a little more than Grasp. Grasp just like hangs on them a little more. Actually, I like instant speed, so because I hit that untapped land, it changes the calculus though, because this will actually be able to brawl with the Banneret. And they had some awkward draws with lands as well. So now we're going to have an untapped Sanctuary, which will be good. It'll allow us to recur Craving. On the next turn, I'll probably play a second Rager, or maybe I'll play a Seer. I'm not quite sure. Acolyte, okay. They get to shove through. That's pretty good. I'm not going to do anything there. I am going to kill it on my turn, though. And then I'm going to feign weakness here. And then I'm going to moment to... So they have something, and the question is, like, when are we going to do this? They might just be last gasping here. Yeah, that's fine. So that's nice. They actually get to play around this, but they play around my decision, which is a really fun little situation there. I'm going to play another Rager, and I'm actually going to burn the Sanctuary because I need to at this point. Ooh, maybe I should not. No, I think I'm going to burn the Sanctuary. We don't need it. My opponent is going to consider. They've got another Last Gasp. Yeah, having Last Gasp is not amazing. I should have played Bog then, maybe. Oh well. Just because it would have been nice to be on 6 this next turn. But we'll make do. We'll see what they have on 4 cards. So they do have extra lands here. That's kind of interesting. I'm just going to take a moment to kill this. Just because I don't like 2/3s in the future. And I need the life. And I've got an extra one. So what I'm actually going to do here is just Salvager. And just recur that and then bog them. I like this line a little bit better, as it lets me make better use of my overall mana. And I didn't really want to jam the Seer into the Acolyte. and I'm willing to take a hit from the Acolyte this next turn. I win the long game, so the question is just really, can I survive the short game? Okay, so there's no attacks, that's fine. I don't imagine that Black-White is going to have a lot of combat tricks. It's either going to have stuff like Last Gasp, or it's going to have things like Bone Splitter. It's not going to have something like Karamech's Blessing that does something in combat. So I'm going to play Seer just to get the card, and then I'm going to make some decisions on where I want to go from there. I think the answer is I just pass, and then I consider either a Cruelty or a Craving or whatever else, and then we get to see. My opponent's playing a lot of into-play tapped lands. It's really interesting. I think that I typically try and max out at about 7. I'm going to just do this, just because it's the cleanest way of going about what I'm trying to do. It isn't the best use of mana, but I hate trying to do the little trick where you choose whether you're going to moment or not to stop them from doing something. So, like, if you moment and it doesn't kill their creature and then they Last Gasp you, that was the problem we were encountering a couple turns ago. And I really don't like ending up in that situation. It's not great. Okay, so now they Cruelty. That was my only salvager for whatever it's worth. It's interesting that they're not doing that ahead of time. Like, I think you're supposed to probably jam before that. What am I on? I'm on 7, 8 permanents. Alright, so I'm just going to have to play this. Okay, that's perfect. I'll then play Seagate, because I don't actually want to draw that. I want a little bit more of an option. And then I can play Sanctuary, and I can recur Secrets of the Golden City. And then it will be for 10 this next turn, and this is perfect. And I have Suffocating Fumes in the background for potentially a really big play here. All right. I think I'm just gonna kill the Rager here. 4 blocks, see if there's any weird tricks. And then I'll just block with Seagate and we'll call it good. I guess I should have just attacked with Cloudkin. That was 2 free points of damage that I missed. Blade Juggler. Okay, so this is going to be like a black-white kind of snowball deck, but I don't think black-white really has the same type of snowball type cards. Like, it doesn't have something like this where it can just jam a bunch of stuff into the field. I just have a bunch of Ragers. I don't really like Ragers here, so I'm just going to play out a bunch of stuff, and then I'm going to crack in for 2. And now we're going to play the air game, and this is why blue-black is better than the other snowball decks. Okay, so they get to upgrade with Grange. Be curious, I'm interested to see what my opponent's list looks like after this. Acolyte, okay, Acolyte's good. What are they upgrading? I think what I should do is block here, and then block here, and then take 3. I like this line the best, just because it takes a bunch of cards off the table, and then I can make a better play at this on this next turn. Okay, another Inspector. So I will Cadaver Imp, just put another guy on the field. I think that I'll just play Priest here. It's not totally optimal, but I think it's fine, and then I'll send. My opponent probably cracks one treasure and then sends, odds are. It might be getting a little flooded. 40 cards, yeah, well, that's pretty good. Alright. So I get a free kill here, free-ish. And I'm going to block here and here, take 4. They get to kill a couple of my things, that's fine. And then I'm only fighting one thing and I've got a bunch of cards and they don't. And I actually just cash in my priest on the next turn and kill off their last threat. Last real threat. Yeah, and that's perfect. I'll just play that, go get secrets. I'll cash in on this. With plenty of snowlands. I'm going to cycle this just because I don't see that we're going to need fumes in this type of a game. Cash this in for 3 cards, and then we just kind of rock and roll from there. And I'll just send in for 2. Just a little plink. Just so my opponent knows that the Cloudkins are there and they're hunting. Alright. I'm just going to put that out there and see what my opponent does. The nice thing is, like, my ground game is just so strong that if, like, they want to... Ooh, that's actually a good trick. It's a really good trick. Alright, so they bog me. It's pretty strong. But, again, I'm on Snowball. I'll take secrets. I'll play secrets. Play a land, pay a lamp ad. I think I'll just... I don't want to cash anything in right here. I'll just send for 2. And what I'm going to do now is just block with Priest, and if there's a trick, I have access to a bunch of stuff here. But it looks like my opponent is now flooding a little bit. Yeah, so I'm just going to start making use of some of my mana here to get rid of some of their threats and go up to 6. I'm not really that conscious of my life total because black-white doesn't have reach. Not really. Here, we're gonna hang kind of a noose around this inspector's neck. Get in for a few extra points of damage. And then I'll just sit here. I've got enough removal. Everything should be fine. Ooh, raise the alarm. That's cute. Alright. There are no cards, though. Here, I'm going to kill this while I can. Go up to 8, not take any damage, and we should be good. Not ideal, but you got to draw lands at some point. I'm still going to keep attacking. If they have something like another one of these, it should still be fine. Yeah. Play another land. Maybe I should be worried about burglar rats or something like that. I think in the sideboarded games I will, but for right now I'm okay. Ooh, raise the alarm. Alright, this isn't going to work if they're if there's some like triple block or something. I'll just shoot one of the summoning sick ones, doesn't matter at all. Alright, and we should be fine with 2 cruelties backup. Alright. Now we're going to restart, and I will send another challenge here. Okay, and after a brief second, we are back. I'm conceding that game, and because we need to go back onto play draw and get us into sideboarding here. So let's sideboard. So we're up 2-0, and I'm playing against this. What do I actually even want? My opponent has a little bit of light removal. They've got some early tokens and stuff. Oh wait, hold on, I have the wrong deck here. Oh well. I guess it didn't save my changes from the opening. I don't know why that's the case. It's like a little awkward. I'll just inform my opponent and it should be fine. It doesn't actually change anything really. The only thing I get is the suffocating fumes. Actually, I just won't bother telling my opponent. It's fine. It's kind of like a bank error in their favor. Like I'd have 1 extra fumes and a Bajuka bog. I wouldn't board bog in against them. I might board fumes in, but I don't think I would. I like my main deck against them. The negates aren't going to play. Like I would never board in negates against a deck that has that many creatures. So basically that was just like something that didn't matter. But that is unfortunate. I thought I'd saved the version that didn't have these. And this is Playoff Snowball. Alright. The only thing I really want to consider is Fangs. And Fangs is like pretty decent given they don't have a ton of removal. And I can't imagine they keep in a ton of removal. So what would I take out if I were bringing in Fangs? Fumes is not great against them. Let's just hedge. We'll play 1 Fangs, 1 Fumes, and we'll call it good. Alright, game 3. Need to take one of these next 3 to take the match. So this is, I accidentally screwed things up. I conceded the first game to put us into sideboarding, but then I forgot that if I conceded, it would do things in a different way. So I'm drawing first. Because this is game 3, technically. Yeah, we should have just done it the other way. Like, it made a lot more sense if, again, I need black mana. Yeah, this is fine. I don't really want cruelty. Like, I just want to play guys, honestly. Okay, so they've got a guy here. We're just talking about like the play draw rule and stuff. I'm gonna play this and ship. Okay, what do we got here? Do I want to pull the trigger on moment? I don't think I really do. Like, I kind of want to wait. Like, if they play a Rager, I'll kill a Rager, but I really want to save this for a 2-power creature right now, or something that has Bone Splitter. Okay, so they didn't play anything. I'm going to save that for a Banneret then, or something. Banneret. I'll just play my Rager. It probably gets killed, but I need to put something up there that actually threatens this. Otherwise, they end up like with Subtle Strike or something. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so this is a little awkward. We might actually be... Maybe I did want Suffocating Fumes against something like this. So we'll try and kill the zombie, and I might get Subtle Striked out. Looks like something's going on here. What's going on? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, you let it die. that I don't think is good. I feel like you have to put the counter on like the actual card. I'm debating on whether I want to kill this. I feel like what I actually just have to do is just kill the banneret and then take 4. Like, this is a good start by my opponent. Good start on the play. Alright. Blade Juggler, that's nice. Yeah, this is the type of tempo game my opponent needs to be playing. The fact that I don't have a land is really awkward. So let's see if I can find one here. Okay. And then I will Myers Grasp the Juggler, just because it produces more power. They are short on lands, so that is something. But we just have a bunch of card draw spells that don't really work against what we're trying to do here. Okay, just that. They don't have Subtle Strike, because Subtle Strike actually just goes through this. Because it's actually a -2/-2 effectively. So this next turn, I'm going to try to Cloudkin Seer into something. Looks like at the very least I have Lampad. Okay, so I'll just play Lampad. And then we won't attack. And now let's see if I can stabilize here. I think that I'm close. They have a lot of cards in hand, though. Maybe I did, like, this actually just might be a game that I wanted for Suffocating Fumes. The fact that I boarded one out kind of implies that I might not, but interesting. It's a lot of tapped lands. Like, this is more tapped lands than I would play for an aggro deck like this. I think the mana's got to be okay. I'd want to just be concentrating more on idyllic ranges, and I probably would actually cut Scoured Barrens, because you want the number of planes to be live. I don't think my opponent's got great attacks right now, unless they have some type of trick. And I have to be aware of that. This is where the 2/3 really comes in, because, okay, Acolyte. I don't know if they've got good attacks, though, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really like those attacks. I just want to kill the 3/4 here. Like, they don't actually get to kill more than one of my creatures, so it's just not a good attack. I take 3, go to 8, and then on my next turn I get to play Seagate and then play... Ooh, interesting. I think I take Sanctuary, and what do I have here? I do have Moment of Craving, that's good. So I can bring back Craving, and I have to figure out what's more important in terms of mana efficiency. I think just straight... I feel like having the Cruelty later is going to be important, potentially. 1 minute. I have 6 mana. This is going to draw me cards next turn. And it's going to put me up to 7, so it's going to be like 3, 2, 2. So it's actually better to Cruelty. And I don't think my opponent brought in like Feat of Resistance or anything. So I'd rather Cruelty. And then we can figure out like where we're going. And that's awkward. Alright, so let's just see like where we end up, I guess. Here, and then I'm going to kill this. Oh, they go to damage. Wow, that's really surprising. What does my opponent have? Blade Juggler. Okay. They just needed to force some stuff through. And Reaver. Okay. I feel like we're doing okay here. I'm just going to draw cards because I need to kind of get out of this. And then I'm going to kill Blade Juggler here. I really wanted to play Oracle, but I just couldn't let some of this stuff stay on the field. And then I have to sit here, as 2 Oracles should hold the ground against these things pretty well, as I almost always get something. The only time I don't get something is if like they have Subtle Strike, but then they don't actually kill any of my creatures. So it should be okay. Reaver make it a 2/2, so that means Subtle Strike becomes a lot more live. Inspector, okay, they're not attacking this turn. They're attacking next turn. Yeah, alright, so we killed a banneret next turn. That's both nice and really annoying. I'm just going to take a moment to kill the banneret, probably, depending on what we have. Yeah, I'll take Rager, and then kill banneret. I'm at 9 against this onslaught. I feel like I'm okay. They've drawn a really nice selection of lands at only like 25% lands so far. I need one more turn to really like go off. So I'm at 5, 7, 10. Okay, so assuming that we don't trade here, and I don't think my opponent attacks just with everything. Oh, well, okay. I'm just going to kill off as much stuff as possible, and I'll take 4. Am I just dead to Dauntless Unity? Like, I'm always dead to Dauntless Unity. So the question is, like, does my opponent have it? Oh, is this like a subtle strike or something? Oh, they had to set blockers, and then they were going to subtle strike or something. Okay. I accept. This is going to push me pretty far down, but I'm going to have a really good Suffocating Fumes next turn. I'm going to play Rager and pass on my next turn, because I actually won't have the permanents for secrets. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that is a really good one. So they actually get to kill one of mine and deal me 4. Okay, so I'm going to play this. It does take me down to 4, and it should be fine. They should just crack this. It doesn't matter. Or actually, they shouldn't. They should not crack it. All right, so now I'm going to pass, and we'll see if they walk into our little trap here. I'm trying to pass quickly. They must know I have something, but it's not really clear exactly what I have. Inspector, okay. Yeah, I expect they don't have any tricks right now. This is a really sweet innovation on stuff. Okay, jam with everything. I want to take you off the board. I want to take... here, I'll just be kind of crazy and I'll take one of each off the board. Maybe I'm actually supposed to keep the other thing around so that I can... just kill it with cruelty, but who knows. What am I at now? It's still 7-9. I feel like I should lead on Cloudkin. And then secrets for the full amount, and that should get me a land. And I can bring back Moment, because I'm going to need that. And then I'm going to play Priest. And this should be pretty secure here. Yeah. I feel like you're supposed to play cycling lands. Or something. Like, it's just really tough. Delic range, that's fine. Here, I'm just going to take a moment to kill one of these Reavers. Just go up to 6. Be nice and secure. Use my mana when I can. Or when I need to. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. But oh well. It's fine. We'll now go get secrets. And I'll crack in for 4. Yeah, and then this should be a smooth sailing all the way to the end here. It's really tough to fight Snowball. Like, this deck is, I think it's a really good innovation, but it can't fight Snowball on the same axis that that Snowball likes fighting on. It just doesn't work. So, all right. So that is that. All right. So that's that, everyone. I've won Season 4 of the Plague League Historic Pauper series, and Season 5 is going on right now. If you'd like to come on and join, we're going to continue running this, and it's going to be a lot of fun if you enjoy historic Pauper, or if you enjoy formats that are much more about the bread and butter of Magic, where you're trying to figure out how to grind out that last little bit of card advantage, those little plays where it's, do I attack now, do I attack later, instead of just burrowing your opponent in card advantage, although this deck kind of does do that, but it's at a different level than trying to play Uro and 16 Planeswalkers or whatever else in your various formats. So this is what I ended up playing. I know that it doesn't quite match things at the beginning video, and hopefully everyone enjoyed this. I'll be trying to stream/record a little bit more, but until then, I hope to see you around, and I'll put a link to the Discord down below. Thanks a lot for watching.